If we want to recover from this pandemic and we want a robust economic recovery, there must be access to vaccines for all.
Vaccine equity is not an act of charity.
Trade barriers to access to vaccines and treatment work against our common interests.
The pandemic is reversing hard-won development gains, adding to the problems facing the most vulnerable. The post-COVID recovery must not leave anyone or any country behind. The first step towards this goal must be a rapid global vaccine rollout that ends the pandemic. We need more trade cooperation to address supply bottlenecks, lower regulatory hurdles to facilitate trade, and finance vaccine purchases. Keeping global markets open is essential for a strong and sustained recovery. The organizations and members that have cooperated on the Aid for Trade initiative have made a huge difference in people's lives. Working together now to invest in the recovery of trading partners is not just the right thing to do. Building back a greener, more equitable, more prosperous global economy is a matter of economic self-interest for all countries.
The pandemic is a devastating demonstration that health and the economy are integrated and interdependent. When health is at risk, everything is at risk. But when health is protected and promoted, individuals, families, communities, economies, and nations can flourish. The pandemic will subside, but there will be another one. And countries will continue to face myriad health challenges that sap productivity, fuel inequality, and hold nations back. We can only truly respond and recover if we think of health not as a cost, but as an investment in the safer, fairer, and more prosperous world we all want to.
A rebound in trade, if it is managed well, can lift growth and living standards in the developing world. And we know trade increases job opportunities, trade increases access for poor households to affordable goods and services. Trade will be at the heart of efforts to build forward toward a greener, more inclusive, and digital recovery. We have a chance to transform our economies. We have a chance to make them smart, green, more equitable. We have trade to play a hugely important role.
Trade between villages, trade between cities, trade across borders, and trade in the global marketplace. This is the path for countries to be able to develop and for people to be able to innovate and come up with new jobs, new ideas. A core part of that is to have the transparent and predictable rules. And this is where WTO has been so vital with better data, with better policies, with regulatory policies, and working internationally. My hope is that the World Bank Group can help policymakers come up with new techniques that really push forward against this burden of inequality that we're facing.
What the pandemic made clear to us is that we must ensure that trade and investment provide maximum development footprint in partner countries. The ultimate shock of the COVID-19 crisis is poverty or increased poverty. And programs like Aid for Trade are essential to build forward better. Without a sustained trade and investment flows, the strong, the resilient, inclusive, the green recovery we strived for will not happen. So as we forge ahead, only by working together with the right political leadership, we will be able to tackle the challenges ahead.
To ensure access to critical goods, we need to keep goods flowing across borders. And we need also trade because it is a powerful engine for job and income creation, and it is a critical source for foreign exchange. Today, we can demonstrate our united front and commitment to rebuild, including through aid for trade. The post-COVID-19 world is still somewhat far away, but we cannot lose another day without working on the recovery.
We've shown that trade is vital. Trade can do better now, should do better. And we need to make sure that trade impacts on the daily lives of people through the Aid for Trade mechanism.